And your name is?
Dwayne Jackson.
And is this okay for me to post this on YouTube?
Yes, absolutely.
Great. Tell us about your organization and its history.
Okay, well, our organization is the Youth Network Group. We're a nonprofit organization dedicated to serving the youth and their family. So we've been around for about 4 years now in different aspects in the community, and we do after-school programs, mentoring, tutoring, and leadership development.
How does your organization identify what communities or individuals to work with?
Say it again, please.
How does your organization identify what individuals or communities to work with?
Well, one of the things we do, especially starting coming into community, we actually go and speak to the residents. So the biggest part of this program is networking. So we start with the people in the community. So in order to design a program, that's what my specialty is at, developing and designing programs. I have to know what's going on in the community and if we're needed or wanted. So we identify by speaking to the residents, speaking to the parents, doing some events with the kids, and letting the residents and the community get to know myself, the people who I work with, the different groups that we network with, and see if it's a good fit and if it wanted or needed.
Okay. What factors led to your organization choosing this community?
Well, when we was looking around, we basically we always work in communities that's labeled at risk, or the ones that's the biggest need, or public housing, those type of communities. So when we was looking in this area, the economic struggles in this community was something that we felt that we could come and actually provide some services. And I know some people in the community already. I was working with a couple of other organizations. One of the people, one of the organizations I say is the Groveway Community Group. They wanted to bring me in and do some work with them. So we kind of worked our way in that way. And when I see that there was a need, that's when I started coming around and volunteering my time with the kids. Getting the parents to know me and seeing if it was a good fit for my program and what the community needed.
How has your organization worked to build trust and relationships within the community?
Well, again, it's all about working with the parents and speaking directly to them and meeting them where they at. I could come in with grandiose ideas and I could say, well, I'm going to bring all these things to the community, and it may not be needed. I may think I know what's needed. I grew up in a poor community in the Bronx. That doesn't mean that all poor communities, all communities that need something, need the exact same thing. So the whole idea was to go speak to the people, work with them, see where I could help, not only with my organization, but other organizations I network with. So it was about bringing in resources. Everything I know is accessible to everybody. So there may be a need that somebody has for like maybe like childcare, for a preschooler, and I don't provide that, but I could direct you to different organizations that provide that. Actually work with some other organizations that provide grants to working parents that just can't afford childcare. So I was able to pass that along. So it's not necessarily directly affecting my organization itself, but it could help that person. So when doing that in the community, that actually helps to build trust and to build confidence that I'm here to actually serve you. Because it's not that I'm here and everybody comes and you come to this organization. I'm coming from the outside into this community. You tell me what you need, I try to provide it. If I can't, we'll try to find somebody that could, even if it's not my organization itself.
Right. How does your organization benefit this community?
Well, I think one of the ways that we do is one of our biggest programs is something called a youth council, to where the kids learn leadership development skills, and through that, in that program, one of the components of it is going out and doing community work. So the way that it benefits the community is that the actual kids from the program learn how to be leaders in their community, and then they go out and do some things. So there was a shoebox campaign that we did where we put together homeless supplies for the homeless, and we gave it out. We've also provided last year we did a Thanksgiving dinner where the kids actually through with their meal they had meals for the parents also. And then we also partner with the Grove Community Group. So a lot of things that they do, we're actually helping with, like the community day, the pre-Thanksgiving luncheon, the Black History show. So our organization is partnering with them and doing work in the community also.
Does the government help to fund any of the services that you provide for the community? If so, what services and how are they funded?
Okay, well, the government, we have a government grant, I guess you call it a partnership with the nutrition services. So, with that particular grant, we provide healthy, nutritious meals for the kids, and we get a reimbursement back from the for partial of what we paid from the state. So, with that program, and for all the programs that we run, that's a big component of it is the actual healthy meals. So on like today, the kids are getting mashed potatoes, chicken, sweet peas, and I actually forgot the fruit, but there's a fruit along with it with milk. So all of that the youth network pays for. At the end of the month, we get a reimbursement for some of the money that we spent, and I think that's a great program because sometimes kids eat at 10 o'clock at school. So by the time they get here between 2:45 and 4 o'clock, they're hungry. And if we want them to do their homework or tutoring or something, it's always hard for a kid to concentrate while they're hungry. So I've always wanted to provide a meal for them. And then to further that, once they get home, parents have to, when they get home, whether they're home already or whether they're working, they have to make sure that their homework is done, that they're fed, and then they're bathed. So if a parent gets home from work at 8 o'clock, a lot of times, they're just rushing to get them bathed, have them eat something, and get to bed. So sometimes there's just not enough time to do everything. So I want to make sure that when a parent comes home, they know they at least did some of their homework here. They at least got a meal. You may have to prepare them a snack or something for bed, but they got a whole meal before they left here, and it's just very important. I think it helps out a lot. That's another way that we help in the community also.
Okay. Are there services that your organization offer that residents have to pay for that are not government funded?
Well, there are for most of the services in the program. Most of them are free or low cost. Some of the services that we charge for would be the day camp services. We don't get too much funding for day camp for the summertime, I should say. So in those programs, we charge a little bit more. The after school program in this location here is free, so we don't charge the parents for this program. We have a couple of other locations where we do charge, believe between $30 and $50 a week. But those are other sites in Sandy Springs, and we just provide different types of services.
Okay. Does your organization have any economic opportunities now or plans in the future for members of this community?
Well, yeah. Well, currently we actually are just hired a group leader for this location here. We're actually looking to hire another group leader. We looking for another cook because through all the programs that we run, like I said, we provide the nutritious meals. So we looking for a cook to help with that, and a tutor. Actually, we're looking to hire a tutor. And then there's other opportunities that we have internships, and most of the time our internships turn into paid jobs. It's just some different positions that we have in within the organization. And then there's always whenever I get different opportunities from outside the organization, always pass it on to the community also.
Okay, great.
And actually, there's a childcare facility that I work with that is not directly for my organization, but with them, they're hiring teachers. They're also hiring people to work in the after school program, and they're always looking. So those are the type of opportunities that we have.
Okay. Is your organization willing to admit to mistakes and failures?
Absolutely not. No, I'm joking. Of course, everybody makes mistakes. So some of the things that we've done here, well, with this organization, some mistakes that we made was, and this happens often, where you will come in and you would think that you have a certain set of ideas or thoughts of the way things should be run. And one of the mistakes that we make is that we come with a whole set plan of what we want to do. So the way I work is to come, like I told you, come into the community and talk to residents and find out what they need. Some of the mistakes are you coming with a preconceived notion of what's needed already. So when that happens, I have to slow down, take a breath. One of the things I do to alleviate that is to put together an advisory a group that advises my organization of what to do, how to do it, if what we're doing is working, and all those type of things. I have, no problems doing that. But a mistake is that you think you know everything that's needed and everything that needs to be done. So when that happens, just take a step back, and we just take a step back and okay, um, I want to bring somebody on board, and that's why in a lot of our programs we hire residents. I like to hire within the community, so that way, it's happening now. Somebody's like, well, that's a great idea, but I think we should do it in this way. And I have no problems letting somebody that's from the community, tell me that I've been doing this for over 25 years. So I know what I'm doing, but there's different ways of doing things. So I have no problem with actually getting help from those within the community. And that's why I love to hire from within the community because nobody knows their community like person that's lived there.
Thank you.
No
Beautiful.
problem.
Beautiful. What are the long term goals of your organization within the community?
Okay, so we have a lot of long-term goals, but the one I probably talk about today is that we want to start a school. So we want to actually uh, create a program, which will be a school, to actually for the low income community. So this will be something from the what they would call grassroots from the ground up. But we're gonna within the first, well, the next, not first, for the next couple of years, we're actually putting together a commission, a committee to actually start that plan. So within 5 years, we actually want to be in the stage where we're actually looking for a property, looking for a building, and actually have our action plan, our business plan all together. But that starts with the community, though. So we want it to be something where it's hands-on. I know that there's even when you have your own charter school or whatever you want to call it, there's still have to go through the standardized testing and all those things. So we're bringing on the education director to actually go through that process. But the main thing is to have kids learn, not memorize. Not worry about the test only and worry about, life skills. So everything we do, if it's about something about going out into the learning about flowers and growing them, we had to go put your hands in dirt. That's the way you're gonna learn. Now, if you're doing learn about well anything, you just have to be involved in doing it. You have to really actually do it. So we want to make sure that these kids are getting the same opportunities that a lot of the other kids in more affluent neighborhoods get. So that's why one of the things that we do is provide like internships here for the teens in the summertime, especially. Because with our youth council, the main thing of the council is to give them opportunity and to make sure that they have something to put on their resumes when they go look for jobs and their college applications when they're applying for schools. Because one of the main things that I've seen is that a kid will call me from the community center that I ran 10 years ago, and they would say, "Well, I'm looking for a job now. Can I